Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and we are having a look at Jannik Sinner's return and what makes it so effective at the top of the game. So here he's returning against Novak, and just notice how he's got a wide base with his legs, and he's slightly bent over, and he's got his center of gravity almost leaning forward. Okay, so now when Novak throws that ball up to serve, what's basically going to happen is that he's going to start popping up a little bit and take that step forward. Okay, and he gets that split step with his legs moving forward into the court. But here's the real key, is just watching how perfectly he times that split step. So when I forward it back a little bit, and you can see when Novak makes contact with the ball right there, that's when he's initiating the split. And a lot of players mess this up. They go wrong by split stepping slightly too early. You can see there he's split. He's got a low center of gravity. And then when the ball bounces, he's using his core strength and his leg strength and his reaction time to push from his outside leg. And what he does really well is he opens up this hip to start with. So he gets that foot out to the side, and he opens up the left leg so that he can actually gain extra room for his right leg to come across his body. So you'll notice how he steps out here. He gets a very short tape back with the racket head. He doesn't take it too far back. It's a short turn. That racket is still in front of his body. It's not gone behind him yet. Not until he lets the racket lag back. But now he's going to cross over from his right foot across his body as the racket lags back. So you can see now the strings are now back. And he's done a really good job at getting that contact point out in front. And he's almost a little bit in the air as he makes contact out in front. Alright, so that's just one little thing to look at on the backhand return. And you can see how he's actually lands on his right leg on the finish. And then this left foot's going to land. And now what's really good about this is that his left foot, this leg, is now going to be able to cross over like that. So you can see how his left leg crosses over like this, so he can get back to a good ready position in the middle of the court. Alright, so let's just have a look at a different video. So here, I'm not sure what return's coming next. I've kind of just picked a few random returns to look at. So I think he's playing Taylor Fritz, is it? Yeah, he's playing Taylor Fritz. So notice here, as Fritz just makes contact with the serve, that's a real key. So watch the contact, and you can see Jannik is in the air just as Fritz is making contact. So he's initiating the split step there. He lands, and he's noticed that Taylor's actually hit a kick serve here. So what does that mean? If it's a kick serve, he's anticipating a lot of second serve kicks go down the tee to try and find the backhand high, whereas he's standing in a really deep return position, and he's managed to get round whenever he can and attack with a forehand ground stroke. So that is, because he's so far back there, he's almost just hitting a ground stroke heavy and deep to the middle. So that's just another versatile return that you can use from a deep position off a second serve when players kick it down the tee. So here's another wide serve, I think. Let's have a look. So on the contact again. So the player makes contact. You can see Sinner's got a nice wide base, and his feet are more than shoulder width apart. You can see how he has really good internal rotation of his hips for his feet to be this wide. So that's one thing a lot of players struggle to actually get in this wide base position, because especially club players, because they lack efficient hip mobility. So he's quite flexible to be able to get into this position. Notice how he also starts with the left hand on the throat of the racket. I don't think he has it on the handle like Novak. but then he's quick at, maybe he does, yeah, I think he does have it on the handle. But let's have a look. So guy's gone out wide, he's timed the split step again, and notice this is the main key, is when you're loading for the wide backhand return, can you open up with that left foot out to the side? You can see the toes pointing out to the side, and he does the unit turn with his upper body, and he doesn't take too much of a backswing, and he does it every time. He gets this right foot crossing over to land as he makes contact there. And that is one of the small keys, is notice how he's in the air on the contact. So the ball has literally just left the racket, and he extends out with that left arm to the contact point, right arm slightly bent, contact out here, but he's actually in the air on the contact. So boom, and he's in the air, and that is getting a lot of forward momentum into the, and body weight going forward into the return, so that when he lands again, he uses that left foot here to do a big crossover recovery step and maintain his posture and his balance as he recovers back to the middle. All right, so now we're having a look at a forehand return. I think it's Kokonaka serving at him, so the guy's got a big serve. Sinner likes to have quite a deep return position, you'll find, but he does come up to the baseline on second serve return. But for the first serve, he likes that more modern return position from slightly further back in the court. Just gives him a bit more time. And because he's got long limbs, he's able to use his reach. So again, wide base position, feet wider than hips. Feet wider than shoulder width. So that's a real key. So you've got a nice strong base, low center of gravity to be able to react and push off. And just watch how he lands on that split step, comes into the court. So he's almost landing just before the bounce. So if you watch, the ball comes in, he's landing just before the bounce. And he noticed how he's got a very short take back on the forehand. The hand just goes out to the side. So this arm just goes out to the side there. The racket is up, but he doesn't take the racket too far back. And from here, he's going to do the opposite of what he did on the backhand side. This left leg is going to cross over now. So the left leg crosses over, and you can see how he's in the air on the contact. So you can see contact point here, out in front, but he's in the air as he makes contact with the ball. You can see both feet are off the floor as he's almost jumping into the return, but with a lot of control and a lot of balance, maintaining a great posture. He lands on that left leg, and then he's going to plant the outside foot, the right leg, here. And depending on what ball he's hit, he can easily use his crossover step with that foot, or he can use his crossover foot with that foot if the guy is about to attack with a forehand into the corners. So he can get out of these situations really easily. And one thing Sinner's really good at is maintaining this almost this skier-like position where his feet are just nice and wide. And that is just elite level on the split step. One of the biggest things at club level or even young junior level is the athletic wide base, and timing the split step at the right time can really have a huge impact on your tennis. So if you learned a thing or two from this video, hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and if you want to work with me one-on-one online, I'll analyze your game personally. Just hit the link in my bio, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again.